Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. You have the right to remain well entertained. I am Gordon Ramsay. Ask me anything. Gordon, how do you like your eggs? Very good question. I have to say, scrambled. Over a slice of sourdough bread that has been grilled, and then sort of doused with Worcestershire sauce. Now scrambled eggs. I did a video a few years back with my youngest, Tilly, showing how to make scrambled eggs, and I think it has 10 to 11 million hits. And the nice thing about scrambled eggs is that they don't have to just be breakfast, you can have them in the evening, with some nice mushrooms, some tomatoes. You can have them as a snack at midnight, or at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Hi chef, are there any really strange food combinations that you enjoy? I had an amazing doubled pork chop with rhubarb. Now rhubarb is something we literally eat with desserts, but this dish was incredible. It was in Spain. It was a double pork chop that had been slow roasted over an open pit fire with rhubarb. Absolutely delicious. This was one of my mates that was trying to show off cooking in his back garden in Spain when we were out filming for Kitchen Nightmares. I didn't think it was going to work, to be honest. And then when I started tasting, I thought poop. This is delicious. I thought crap. This is delicious. I love that that's how you respond to a good meal. Hello Gordon. I've wanted to know what is your opinion on Michelin rating system? One thing we need to really understand about Michelin is the stars are awarded to the restaurant. So, if there's one thing I've come to admire with the Michelin is that it's consistent. It's a guy who is judging you incognito. We have a lot of guys in this country, and Europe, who are a bit too familiar, too chummy with chefs, and they overindulge. Food editors, they'll know, and tip off the chef. With a Michelin guide, you have no idea when they'll be in, or when they'll review you. And that's why they're the most feared and respected BV chefs. When I'm not there, I have trusted proper chefs, like Claire Smith, the chef de cuisine in Chelsea. Even when I'm there, she's still running the ship. She's been running it there for 10 years. So the stars are awarded to the restaurant. And sometimes the chefs think the stars belong to the chefs, but they belong to the restaurant. The service is just as important. Michelin's had a hard time in America, because it was late coming to the table. But if there's one thing I respect, it's consistency. They manage to identify consistently, and it's all there for the customer. So when people ask me what do you think of Michelin? I don't cook for the guide, I cook for customers. Have you ever literally gotten sick from a horrible hotel in hotel hell? And sometimes it doesn't happen until 2 to 3 days later. No, I've never really got sick. But I was in a hotel last year in Vermont, and I didn't realize until I got home that I caught nits in the hotel. Yeah. And I did something really bad because I thought it was my dog Enter. I thought it was my youngest daughter, Matilda, and then it turns out it was me with the nits. So I had my hair checked by my wife Tara, and I traced it back to the pillowcase in Vermont. So I apologized to Matilda. Because, she's young and quite often kids get nits, and then my wife said listen, you're wrong. Tilly didn't give you nits. Ridiculous. Do all the kids on MasterChef Junior really know the techniques off the top of their head for every challenge, or do you give them a quick overview/rundown before the challenge starts? For instance the Crucian-Bouche challenge? So across the filming procedure, we get the chance to spend time with them, with basic culinary lessons. So they won't know exactly what they're doing, but we'll show them basic techniques a few weeks prior. And also, things like the croquembouche, we'll do a class in sheet pastry, but we'll do sheet pastry buns, as opposed to actually doing a croquembouche. When it comes to the more serious elimination challenges, they'll have insight 3 to 4 weeks out. We are halfway through shooting season 5 of MasterChef Junior, and I am staggered by the level of competition. We start taping tomorrow morning, but based on the standards of the first few seasons, the level is just amazing. They are coming in better, stronger. And for kids to have ballet lessons, soccer lessons, that's something we've grown up with. And I've never known kids like we're having now, who are having cooking lessons outside of school hours. Is there any food that you won't even try? Any food I won't even try? That's a good question. I think, being a chef, the first thing that I set out to do was to make sure that I almost got to taste every ingredient anywhere in the world. I wanted to learn so much about ingredients that I'd never know what not to do with an ingredient. So I'm an open book. Whether it's a beating cobra heart from a snake in Cambodia, or a deep-fried tarantula, or a beef Wellington, I'll eat absolutely anything. The only thing I draw the line at, Victoria, is eating overcooked food. There is nothing worse than an overcooked Brussels sprout. The smell is disgusting. What do you normally eat as an everyday meal? Chef's pick. So I don't really sit down and do lunch. I certainly don't sit down and eat dinner. I have a breakfast with oatmeal, that's the first thing, and that sets me up for the rest of the day. It's very hard to sit down for a 3-course meal, and I'm very easy to please. If I go out to dinner, I'll share an appetizer, enjoy my entree, and enjoy my dessert. It's very hard for me to enjoy a full meal, because I taste every 2 minutes in the kitchen. I'm not very good at sitting down for 3 hours to enjoy a meal. I'd be lying if I told you I sit down 4 nights a week and have a 3-course dinner. I do nothing of the sort. And also, there's nothing worse than eating dinner at 5:30 and then having to get up and cook for 3 hours. So I like to keep on my toes, and eat small bits. Almost like in Hong Kong, 4 or 5 times a day, small bowls of food. Hey Gordon, what did you have for breakfast, mate? Hey. Everyone thinks I have a glamorous breakfast, like a full English or eggs Benedict. I keep it simple, because it reminds me of my mum. So I keep it simple, porridge, which is oatmeal. But growing up in Stratford-upon-Avon, we kept it very simple, just oatmeal with water, salt, and oatmeal, because my dad said it would put hair on your bollocks. It's really weird hearing you say the word bollocks, Victoria. The night before, put 3 to 4 bananas in the oven on a pilot light. And the next day, squeeze the bananas into almond milk, bring it to a boil, then add the oatmeal and dried cranberries, and you'll have the most amazing oatmeal for breakfast. You obviously have a talent for witty insults. Do they come naturally, or do you think about them and then say to yourself, I'm gonna use this one next time I get angry? Also, after watching your show, I want to try jellied eel. I'm going to London in a few days, any recommendation about where to have it? Hey! Witty insults? It just happens sort of spur of the moment. I see red, I get frustrated, I let it go. I'm not very good at editing myself. I have to get things off my chest. If there's one thing my mum taught me, it's speak your mind, be firm, get things off your chest. I think it's a good way to work, and quite healthy to have that attitude. Do I think about it previously? No, they just come to me in a flashpoint. And sometimes even I sit back and think, did I just say that? And then jellied eels, you've got to go to the East End of London, and get the most amazing malt vinegar. They're very healthy, packed with protein, and bloody delicious. And the River Thames now, in London, is teeming with eels, so some of the best eels in the world now are from London. They're delicious. Do you have any food recommendations for a college student on a budget? That's a really good question. I would recommend that you get adventurous with pulses, chickpeas, beans, lentils. And you know, cooking these is incredible. Brown rice? Phenomenal. You don't need expensive proteins. Just make them incredible with how you cook them, or prepare them. A pressure cooker is a great way of making these foods go a long way, is to cook them deliciously. Chilies, garlic, definitely. I've always found Mexican food to be a great cuisine in terms of getting a lot of flavor and nutrition for relatively low cost. Hi chef, I'd like to know how you got into running and triathlons? Good question. I got into running and doing triathlons. First of all, I've run over 15 marathons and doubles, ultramarathons, in South Africa. So I needed a bigger sort of commitment, to spend a little bit more time to myself. So, listen, I love running, but it's given me quality time to spend on my own. So I got into triathlons about 3 years ago, and it's helped me to stay even more focused in my day-to-day job. Also, I have to say, in a hoob wetsuit, I look like I've got a freaking 8-pack. Which is unique about a chef in a wetsuit. It's incredible how toned you look. I recommend every chef put on a wetsuit. It makes you look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Hello, Gordon. I'm very excited you're doing an AMA. Regarding food, what guilty pleasure do you have that most people would be shocked at? Fast food, fries, frozen fish sticks, etc. Mine is spaghetti in a can. It's repulsive and I know I shouldn't eat it, but I can't help it. Well, first of all, you need help. Spaghetti in a can? That kind of poop we grew out of on our 8th birthday. I still remind my mum that she taught me how to spell with alphabetical spaghetti in a can. You need help? Big time. My go-to sort of fast food snack. It would have to be an In-N-Out burger. Oh my god, honestly, it is, when I eat double doubles. I am terrible. And I always bring it back on the airport when I'm flying from LA to London. I'll sneak it into the first class lounge at BA. Good afternoon, chef. Do you have a favorite cocktail? I have an amazing cocktail, which, we're in Atlantic City currently, because we just launched the Gordon Ramsay Pub and Grill here, which is where we're calling from now. It's with Tanqueray Gin, and it's called Wake Up You Donkey. I mean, ha 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 ha, it is incredible. And also, it's quite sort of spicy, and fragrant, and it's absolutely delicious. Hi Gordon. I'm a huge fan of yours, and enjoy watching all of your shows. I especially enjoyed your home cooking series, and I want you to know that they sparked an interest in cooking for me that I'll never forget. Anyway, onto my question, what is the best meal you have ever had? And what about the worst? _Gordon_Ramsay copyright 3.4k points, 5 years ago. Wow, that's a great question. Well, negative, the worst meal? There's been too many of them to tell you about, because the last 10 years, working on Kitchen Nightmares, I've eaten a lot of crap. I think I've drank about 3.5 liters of Pepto-Bismol. And in terms of, good meals, I had an incredible meal at the Black Liquor Market in Studio City. The most amazing Scotch eggs, deviled eggs, and then these short ribs that were braised in beer. Incredible, just incredible. Hello Mr. Ramsay. My question is this, how do you feel about being a meme on the internet? Oh, gosh. I don't really get a chance to sort of look at the internet. Do you know what? I love that level of connection, and I try to show as much as I can, who I'm with, where I am, and giving people inspiration. So I don't really think of myself as a phenomenon on the internet. I'm a cook. Who happens to be the luckiest cook in the world. What would have been your answer or question? Leave it in the comments below. Slap that like and subscribe button for more, and check out the link in the video description for even more answers. Peace out, and catch you in the next video.